Yo, what up?
Welcome back, man. It's good to see you again.
Hi, Stan.
Episode 29, Menace and The Man.
Sure is. Just creeping up on that 30 mark.
Yeah, that crazy 30 mark. Stan the Man made it back from Florida. Menace made it back from Greenland and Puerto Rico. How was your trip, Menace?
It was pretty good.
What'd you do?
I did a trip for the troops through a company called Pro Sports MVP, where we did, seminars for the troops, and we did Q&As and cheers a couple beers and ate some cool food and saw some cool shit.
Did you get any good pictures?
Got a few cool pictures, So Greenland this time of year there's daylight 24/7. So I was out in the glaciers of Greenland at 3 a.m. in the morning, hanging out with the crew, and the sun was out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was surreal.
You've traveled a lot. You never been to a place like that, right?
No. And then on the contrary, like in November, it's dark, like no sun at all.
And now freezing cold, right?
Yeah, so when I was up there, it was like 32, but it wasn't a New York 32. It wasn't that windy, and there's nothing blocking the sunlight from hitting you.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel that bad.
Did they give you, remember how we were questioning if they were going to give you like a tire or something? Did they give you stuff?
It wasn't necessary.
All right.
Yeah.
You brought winter clothes?
I brought the fine furs. I didn't really need them. I brought winter boots, which I was the only one that brought nice boots, and it paid out because right now, so everything is in Greenland's essentially thawing because the sun's out all the time, and it's not that cold, so it's extremely muddy. So do you want to know about Greenland?
I'd rather know about how Puerto Rico's doing. How was
Hang
Puerto
on,
Rico?
bro.
So we need to know about Greenland?
Do you want to know about the Arctic hare?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, they're about this fucking big.
What's the Arctic hare? What is
a hare is a rabbit.
Oh, a hare is a rabbit.
Yeah.
So the Arctic rabbit is the size of a...
They're fucking huge, and they eat other Arctic hares.
Would they attack a person?
I think so.
Were you told to stay away from them?
Well, I mean, they're a little bit more afraid of you than you are afraid of them. But they were telling me how an Arctic hare, if it was bigger than an Arctic fox, would eat an Arctic fox.
So an Arctic fox is how big? I'm sure just a regular sized fox.
Yes. That's how big these fucking rabbits are.
And are they like, I don't even get that. How is a rabbit that big?
It's by the North Pole. It's above the North Pole.
So it just grows, I guess, to keep warm? Some shit like that? Like Darwinism. It like grows to keep warm, Like
I don't think grows to keep warm. I just think they grow because if they're small, they can't fucking eat other shit. They're omnivores up there. That's insane.
So they eat meat.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
They'll eat some fucking meat. Because there's very, very little vegetation up there. Especially in, I think, like the winter. Right? And then, so the deal on base, so the place I stayed at was called Thule. Thule, but pronounced Thule. And it's, if there's a polar bear sighting, they shut the base down. The base becomes on lockdown. You cannot leave what building you're in.
And this is a military base?
Yes.
Why don't they just shoot the fucking bear?
Because polar bears are endangered, you idiot.
Oh.
So what they'll do is they'll try to scare the polar bear away.
Yeah, you don't think a couple shots to the ground, pop, 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 right at his feet, make that motherfucker run?
Ready for this? Polar bears fear none. Stan, their fucking paws are the size of your goddamn chest.
I don't know about that.
No?
So you think if 5 guys stood there and just started fucking blasting at its feet, it would come charging at them?
Yep.
No,
All right.
it would run away. But I did see that picture of you with your head in that polar bear's mouth.
Yeah, that was just the fur.
They are gigantic. Oh yeah.
That was just the fur.
That was a dead animal.
Yeah. No.
That was the skin of it. No, but fucking. So here's what we were out at some spots, and they're like, "Man, if a polar bear came right now, that shit would suck." And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm at least the second fastest person here, and I'll smoke you guys, and I'm not getting killed."
Who do you think was the fastest?
Well, I mean, Gray was there, so I was like, maybe.
I think you'd smoke Ray in a foot race.
I agree, but I was just being modest. I was just
No
playing
offense,
it safe.
Gray. No offense, Gray. But
I was playing it safe.
Menace
you know?
runs. Is Gray
Awesome.
is Gray a runner?
Oh,
You don't
I
know
mean,
that. You don't
he
know
could
that about
probably sprint
him.
pretty fucking fast.
Would Gray push you to the ground and then run away from the bear?
I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. But anyways, so what they said about polar bears is they kill everything first and then go back and eat it. So it wouldn't be like they would just like grab the first person and start eating them and whatever. They would
Well, we went off here.
What do you mean?
I don't know. We went off here. What are you touching, Pitch?
Nothing.
It says we're still streaming?
Yeah, still streaming to viewers.
I don't know.
Anyways, just refresh your shit.
Oh, there we go.
Anyways, so they were saying like, man, if all of us ran, it would track us all down, kill us, and then go back and eat us.
Well, luckily you didn't encounter any polar bears, right?
And you know what I said? I said, fuck that. I'm faster than all of you guys, and the fucking truck is right there, and I know how to drive stick.
Yeah.
Fucking out of here.
Dude, I saw you and Gray chasing muskox. Freaking.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Dude, that is.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't want to ruin. Fuck it, because I plan on having them.
We're going to do a special episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do a special episode talking about our trip with the guy who put it on and everything like that.
What was
But
his name? What's his name again? The guy who put it on from Pro Sports MVP?
we call him Bry Guy. His name's Brian Lee.
Bry Guy?
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we want to get Bry Guy on,
Yeah.
Ashley, and
Yeah.
Gray.
And well, no, so we saw some muskox, right? So I'm like, dude, I had probably too many cervezas, and I'm like, I'm gonna go run up there and get a fucking sick picture. So I just bolt. Pew! I'm out of here, right? The muskox go over the edge, and Gray's coming. So I could have ran over and probably got a dope shot, but the thing is as I'm running up there, I'm like, man, what if they're waiting for me on the other side, and it's just me, and there's about, I don't know, 10 muskox, you know? So the thing is, I waited for Gray. So when we went over the ledge, if they were there, my chance of survival would have been greater, you know?
50-50.
Hang on, bro. We get to the top of this ledge where you can fucking see as far as your eyes can see. Nothing. No muskox. I'm like, dude, where the fuck did these 1-ton goddamn long-haired buffalo go? Gone. And then we ran to like another ledge. Gone. Nothing. Those guys, they must have jumped in a fucking portal. I didn't get it.
Maybe it's too cold?
Are you okay, Stan?
What?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
What do you mean? Was it too cold? What the fuck does that mean?
Maybe that's why they weren't there. I don't know.
Because it was too cold?
Yeah.
They like the cold.
Yeah, maybe
Stan,
the temperatures were too low.
Stan, that does not
or
make
too warm,
any
whatever.
fucking sense.
I don't know. I was texting with Jared. I apologize. I was listening to your story, but then I was half listening toward the end right there. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, really, what he said was that when Gray Maynard jumped on the back of one of these muskox, it ran over the mountains, and he couldn't catch him. Couldn't find him.
What?
I don't know. Just fucking with him.
What would you say?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you both fucking suck. Anyways,
Well, I was letting you roll with your story, and then you asking me questions about it.
no, I was telling a story, and I said how I don't know where the fuck they went. But it's too cold, and you made no sense.
I apologize.
Well, no, you sounded very, very dumb.
All right, I'm sorry for that.
Well, I mean, be sorry to yourself, dude, because people are gonna watch this and be like, damn, Dennis, your fucking co-host is a goddamn jackass.
Well, I'm trying to get Jared and Belal to call in. That's what I was texting. So, trying to get our next guest.
Are they
Are they what?
Are they Gonna both be on the phone at the same time?
I think so.
Oh, all right. Well,
Trying to make something happen for us.
I'll tell you what.
I apologize. I want to
No.
hear that story, though.
No,
I want to hear it
fuck off.
in depth.
I'm telling you shit.
Why?
'Cause-
Don't be a dick now.
No, you gotta wait till Gray and Ashley come on.
We started a little late, so I was trying to make sure that I didn't lose Jared. He just booked a fight coming up. For some reason, while I'm on Twitch, it keeps restarting my stream. Oh. Jared.
Yo, what's up?
What's going on? Welcome back to Menace and The Man.
Bilal's here with me.
Belal Muhammad as well. Welcome
What's up,
back to Menace
dude?
and The Man, too.
Is that Dennis in the background?
You bet your ass it is. Well, not in the background. I'm in the foreground. I do.
Foreground?
Yeah, that's the front.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good, my dude. Doing pretty good.
Very nice.
Stan, go do it.
All right, so hold on. You have a conversation with Jared and Belal.
Yeah, Jared. So you got a fight coming up now, huh?
Yeah.
Who we got? Who we knocking down?
His name's Dan Moret.
Okay. Where's he from?
From Minneapolis, but he trains at the lab.
Okay, so he trains with who's that? Ben Henderson, right?
College. Yeah, Benson Henderson's there,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. The last guy I fought, Tay Edwards, I think is from the lab.
Oh, yeah? All right.
I think so.
Yeah, he's a lab guy as well.
Yes.
Right.
So I'm confident in you, dude. How we feeling?
Thank you, sir.
How we feeling?
I feel good. Training hard. Weight's pretty good right now, better than normal, actually. And that's it, man. Just we're still like 6 weeks out or something like that. So
Nice,
you know, I'm
nice.
still
What was it?
just revving up, you know.
June 29th, right?
Yeah, June 29th.
So last time we had spoken to you, we missed you or something like that. Last time we talked to Belal, you weren't around because you went to go visit your girlfriend, who is now your fiance. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Yes. That's pretty dope, man. Right? You guys used to date a little bit. You guys separated, then you guys reunited, and then what's meant to be is meant to be, right?
I guess so. That's how it went. So
And now
here
what?
we are.
She's like an American Ninja Warrior or something like that, right?
Yeah, she's on the show 3 seasons. She just opened a gym in South Florida, like a Ninja Warrior gym. And she was like an elite gymnast. So she does this now. And I've actually known her since 1st grade.
Wow. That's
So
pretty
we go
dope.
back,
Oh, you
Yeah.
guys go way back.
way back, yeah. It's crazy.
Dang.
And now you got Belal sitting there with you. Congrats on that most recent win, Belal. Last time we had you on, you were getting ready for that MSG fight.
Oh, yeah, appreciate it.
And now you're back on the winning track with this most recent one. What's next for you? I see September
I
7th,
just got
right?
another one. Abu Dhabi.
What'd you say, Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I got it's Abu Dhabi. They're
That's,
right next to each other anyway.
that's got to be pretty sweet for you,
Jared's
right?
not good at math. Yeah, it's Abu Dhabi.
What'd you say? Abu Dhabi?
I said it's Abu Dhabi.
Oh, yeah. Whenever Belal talks, it comes in pretty shitty, but when Jared talks, it comes in crystal clear.
Jared's literally got the phone in his hand, and he's holding the phone like a little girl.
Oh, damn. Like a little girl, huh? Like the limp wrist? Is he doing a limp wrist hold? So what's it like now? You guys are back together. You guys are broing out, right? What do you like? You guys got the freaking air fryer, right?
Yeah, you know, we're just out here making different recipes with the air fryer, doing some cool stuff.
Dude, I think tonight I'm gonna go on Amazon and I'm gonna get it.
What is that?
You didn't get one yet, dude? Come on.
No,
You won your
I
last
know.
fight.
I don't know, dude. I haven't been cooking a lot.
What is this air fryer?
It fucking.
It's a game changer.
It's a game changer, yeah.
What is it? Just frying food without oil?
With like.
Yeah, it's frying food without oil. It's just, and it fries it a lot faster. You cook anything in there: steak, burgers, fish. You can make vegetable chips, dude, everything, man.
Yeah. You know who needs it a lot?
Stan the Man.
Stan the Fat Man, because he loves like some of your favorite things are like a bloomin' onion.
Bloomin' onion, love it.
Right? What else do you love? You love like
Steak, mashed potatoes, French fries, cheeseburgers.
love. The dude loves French fries.
Yeah.
Dude, you can do it all in the air fryer, a lot healthier.
Yeah, but he'd have to cook. That's a problem.
Yeah, maybe I'll look into the air fryer.
Oh, I'm definitely getting the shits.
Why? What's that gonna set you back? $100?
What's the damage on that thing? I think about $100. Right?
Dude, it's $100. $100, $50
Yeah.
if you find a good deal.
Get a freaking 20% coupon from Bed Bath and Beyond.
Man, how you working?
Woo, dude, they are always sending
That's
me
what
that
we do in
thing.
this department. In this department, we're coupon cutters in this department. We don't buy anything unless we have coupon.
Oh, that's how you live. Dennis's favorite price is free. Whether you got coupons
Yep.
or free, that's what you're
Yep.
looking for.
Wow, you know what? Maybe I should check it, but I'm like a little bit embarrassed using coupons. I don't know why. I feel like I'm like food stamps. Like,
Did you get your scuff controller yet?
No, I still have to get in contact with them.
Oh, you still haven't followed up on that? Are you guys playing video games?
No, man, but there's a funny story about food stamps, man.
Let's hear
There's
it.
one time where I bought because in Chicago you get food stamps on a debit card,
Okay.
and then so you get your certain amount of whatever amount of money on your food stamps for that card, and you scan it whatever whenever you go to a grocery store. And I used to buy them off the street, like say I'll buy it off a bum, I'll get them like $50 for like a $300 food stamp card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the one time this guy walked to my store and he said he had $300 on a card, and I gave him like $60 for it.
Right.
So then right away I went to the grocery store. I had literally like a whole
300.
thing full of groceries, literally rolled up to the top, probably like $300 worth of groceries.
Right.
And then the girl at the scanner was a girl I went to high school with, and then, she's asking, "Oh, how you doing? How's it been?" I was like, and I'm like, "Oh, it's cool."
It's tough.
Oh man. So he like scanned everything, and then she's like, "Oh well, that'll be like $300 or whatever." And then I was like, "All right, I have this." And then she scans it, and then the stupid guy reported his car stolen. So he ran off my $50 and reported his car stolen.
Oh.
And then literally, I'm there with the freaking counter full of groceries, and I'm like, "Oh crap! I'll be right back. My brother's in the aisle," and I like ran out and then left.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, you got burned by that.
Dude,
Yeah, it was awful.
I would have indefinitely looked for that guy.
Man, it was crazy. Yeah, it's like I was sitting there like, man, I need to go drive around and look for this guy. Like, he never walked to the store again. I was like, man, if I ever
Dude.
catch this guy, it was literally the most embarrassing moment.
I definitely would have tracked his ass down and gave him a fucking noogie and probably a wedgie.
Oh, you wouldn't want to touch that guy, I'm sure.
If he jipped me like that, like, listen.
Kick him with your shoe or something. You
No,
don't wanna touch him on
I
the
would
skin.
fucking, in all honesty, he'd get a fucking DDT.
So what's going on? You guys got training scheduled for tonight?
We just finished training earlier today. Right now, we were about to go get something to eat within the next hour.
All right, all right. What are you guys usually eating out, cooking?
Today's our cheat meal day, so we're gonna go out.
Oh, it's date night for you guys. All right.
I'm taking him out a little bit, taking him out into town. He's been inside all day,
Wow.
working hard, doing push-ups and stuff. So it's time to go paint the town red.
Yeah, you gotta get that chest right.
That's right.
Now,
So,
where you guys going?
I don't know where we're going. There's a place called Champs. It's pretty good. It's like a big sports bar.
Okay.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
No
What's
cervezas,
up with you,
right?
Dennis?
You guys don't drink, right?
No.
Yeah, me and Menace are on.
Bilal's religious, and I'm just a piece of shit. So
No,
Dude,
no.
don't be so hard on yourself,
did.
dude.
An inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I don't give a shit.
No, I've been.
Dennis,
I've
Yeah,
been
what's up with you, man? What's up
just
schedule?
just lifting a little bit, trying to do a bunch of running. But I've been doing some private lessons, and I'm just finished like my boarding paperwork for PSEG. I was doing a little lineman work. Be up there, fucking with lifting.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
all that.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm like living life on the
Good
edge, benefits, pension,
Hell yeah. Sounds pretty risky to me.
Yeah, but I've been living like a rock star lifestyle. Just trying to squeeze it all out, get it all out of the system before.
Get it all out now while you can.
Yeah, I think so.
You look like you've been having fun. I see you. You've been like, where were you recently? Somewhere with the troops or something?
Yeah. So I was in Miami, 2 weeks ago, doing like some promo work for Menace and The Man show. And then I was in Greenland doing a seminar and a Q&A for the troops. And then we kicked it down to Puerto Rico, and we did the same thing for them. And then dipped back home quick.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Me and Menace aren't drinking for the time being. We've been drinking a little bit too much lately, so we're off alcohol now.
Oh, you're gonna follow my lead, huh?
I've been drinking a little bit too much as well. So yeah.
Wow.
Once you start questioning your thought process, you're like, oh man, I'm drinking way too much.
Yeah, no, I went back. I looked at the fucking goddamn calendar. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking complete piece of shit. You drank 9 days out of the last 11 days, Dennis. And that's that's how I talk to myself. I'm like, all right, stop being a fucking piece of shit and fucking get your shit together. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and I don't want to get fat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a plus. Yeah.
So I think once I land this PSEG job, I will be, I'll get a nice schedule going, get a nice workout and training schedule on top of, doing private lessons and the show, and I'll have a nice balance, and I'll cook and, I'll do adulting stuff, play little video games. I'll be good, man. I'll be maxed out.
There you go. Living life.
Did you guys get a chance to watch those fights this weekend?
Yeah, it was lackluster. Besides the last one.
Oh yeah, that's.
Good.
I mean, obviously that's the main one I'm talking about. Was that Rose Namajunas versus Andrade fight?
Lost a C-note on her.
Yeah.
The Diego Lima fight was good with MVP.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
That was like some sharpshooter shit.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Couldn't get any more perfect.
I know. 4 strikes, each one of them hitting flush where were aimed,
Yeah, it was like perfect.
Man.
Ironic too, just the way it happened. That he was just eventually it's like Anderson Silva. You can only showboat like that for so long and pull off that type of shit until you get caught.
He got his leg kicked out from under him with his hands down, and then he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I was sitting with Gray watching the fights. The UFC fights, and I was watching Thiago Alves fight that dude from Argentina.
Yeah.
And that guy's throwing like these crazy high kicks and all this shit. I looked at Gray, I said, man, this like new school shit of fighting is annoying. Like there's like, I don't know. It's like, it's cool, it's flashy, but like, fuck, man, it's annoying. Like, let's just fucking meet in the middle and punch each other. Like, this fucking flying kick shit and karate shit. Like, get out of here, you fucking wussy.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not, but like, also, like, you could just wrestle the guy and he won't.
Agreed.
You can't do that.
Agreed. Agreed. You're
just risking it. Like, MMA is just a game of inches. All it takes is one shot, and the guy's fucking spinning around. You might as well just take him down.
Yeah. So what are your guys' thoughts on like the flying, spinning kicks and the fucking? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I feel like certain things are like effective, like in certain situations, like if you're like in the clinch and you're breaking off and you throw like a spinning back fist or a spinning elbow. But I mean, unless you're someone like Anthony Pettis, who's been doing that his whole life.
Right.
I'm not going to go in there and fucking do a quadruple head kick.
Right. Maybe I'm being a hater right now. Just because, like, you do.
Yeah, I think it's just for short stuff. So.
Because, I mean, you have to be good to do it and to get the UFC doing it.
I feel like
You know?
you threw some
Yeah.
jump shit in your days.
Yeah, because I don't fucking know. Fucking adrenaline got high. Just fuck it.
After you threw some jump shit, were you like, why'd I do that?
Well, no. Like, you throw some crazy shit. You're like, I've never thrown that more than 5 times, ever. Even on the bag. You know,
Yeah.
win or lose on the line. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, lots of people fucking who, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, it is entertainment, you know?
Yeah, I think it's fun to watch. And the casual fans obviously love it. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't, like, for me, like, I want to see, like, if one guy's running around doing nothing and the other guy's doing cry shit, cool. I like that. Like, hopefully one of those fucking lands. If one guy's trying to meet in the middle and fucking knuckle up, don't do the karate shit. I don't know.
Well, I mean, speaking of Pettis, look at what Pettis just did with some jump shit. He just fucking knocked out Stephen Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Anthony also goes in there and fucking fights.
Right.
You know?
No, yeah, he'll knuckle up, and
It's
then
not-
once you get
yeah.
out of range, then he throws some ninja shit.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that Diaz fight for him?
I think Anthony has like high potential.
Yeah, I see him picking.
To win-
I see
to
him
win
picking
that
Nate
fight.
apart.
He fights way more than Nate does. It's
Right.
it's 15 minutes, so he doesn't have to. You know, he won't. There's no 4th and 5th round where Nate could probably thrive
Yeah, true.
in the
Very
later
true.
rounds. And then I think with the low kicks and the head kicks, and Nate's just gonna go out there and box.
Right,
So
right.
I just can't see. I just picture Anthony being way more dynamic and winning, like kind of how he's. I mean, like, I just feel like he has a lot more weapons.
Oh, for sure. Would they announce the date for that fight?
Say that again.
Did they announce the date for that fight?
I think it's August 17th or August 27th.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'd imagine both of you guys could be guys who can kind of mimic that Diaz brother style in training.
Well, I guess I could pressure him. Bilal's a pretty good southpaw, so
Yeah,
I
think
never really switched stance. But
you're both pressure fighters, is what I was getting at. Yeah, both could definitely have him on
Yeah,
his
yeah,
back
I
foot. I'd imagine
Yeah,
that's going to be
sure.
what Nate's going to be trying to do in that fight.
yeah, definitely. I think he's just going to chop his legs off his kicks.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
that's what
ticket.
set up the right hand for Thompson.
Oh yeah, the fact that he was kicking the
Chop
shit out of
the
him.
leg,
Yeah.
chopping the legs, and then once you you distract him with the leg kicks, and then you go high. And that's really what set up that knockout.
All right. Well.
And that motherfucker hits hard, dude. I fucking sparred with him a lot, and that motherfucker punches hard as shit. And I mean, he just knocked out Thompson, who's never been knocked out in any kickboxing fight, any kickboxing or any MMA fights. And Anthony's like, he was sleeping before he touched the floor, before he hit the floor, you know?
Yep.
I think Pettis is
That
better
motherfucker
without
punch.
cutting weight.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's at 170, so he doesn't have to kill himself.
What does he walk at,
That
Pettis?
motherfucker gets big. Man, I've seen him at like 205 in the gym.
Jesus.
Yeah, looking like a Mexican potato.
Yeah, I'm guilty of getting a little beefy myself.
Sergio gets big too, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that little fucker. He's like, I've seen him like 170. He used to fight at 25. Crazy, yeah.
This dude.
Well, you're even an example of that as well, Jared. Like, I know 145 is a tough cut for you. 155 is a little bit easier, a little more doable, right?
Oh, yeah. 45 was miserable for me.
So no more 145 in the future, right? Just 155 from this point on?
Yeah, there's no point. I'm just gonna, when I do 45, my whole camp just becomes a diet, you know? It's not even, I'm just so worried about making weight.
Yep.
So I'll be honest, like, I don't have the discipline to eat like that year round.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna fucking do it. I want to eat food, and I want to eat food a lot, so I get big. And even when I train year round, and I still get fat. So I mean, I would have to do that year round in order to fight at 45, and it's just not going to happen. So
Yeah,
I'm not going to suffer and kill myself. Yeah. Plus, I'm just damaging my body for the years to come. So I'm over it.
Heard that.
Oh yeah, we always talk about that with Menace, how 145 was such a nightmare, and then 155 you felt great, right?
Yep.
All right, well.
Yeah, he looked great in that fight.
Thanks, dude.
That kid was a big guy. He wasn't like a little dude.
Yeah, that dude was jacked to the hill.
Big boy.
How did he feel?
How big did he feel?
Yeah, did he feel strong? Like,
No, I mean, like I train with like LaFleur and fucking Gregor and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
those like that guy is not stronger than them, you know. And I can hold my own for the most part, you know. So.
Yeah, actually, yeah, the level of training you have is definitely very high. So.
Yeah, we you know, iron sharpens iron, man.
So Jared, you're coming back to New York. What are you coming back for? Family, training?
Yeah, it's my mother's birthday. I haven't been in New York since before New Year's, so I'm just gonna come back for like the long Thursday to Monday, and then come back to Milwaukee.
All right, well, don't be a stranger when you're here. Maybe we'll link up and we'll do some prank phone calls. We'll hit Belal up, pretend we're other people.
I love that.
That's where I initially was going
good.
with this. And then you called us with Belal.
Yeah, you wanted to prank phone calls. Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds good to me, bro.
But we love both of you guys. Thank you for joining us, and we'll let you guys go to your dinner date.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
Send me photos of what you get to eat.
All right, we'll do.
All right, Belal Muhammad and Jared Gordon, thank you again for joining us.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Bye,
Peace.
laddies.
All right, Jared Gordon and Belal Muhammad.
Man, those guys are both good guys.
Oh, yeah, it started a little slow, but then we started opening them up a little bit.
Yeah.
I knew that's what it is. I think both of them could be great interviews alone, but then they're both got to be buttered up a little bit. But then I felt like getting them both together would be something a little special.
Yeah, but Belal, whenever he said, we got Harvard national champion.
What's up, my brother?
We got Harvard national champion on the line, Jesse Jantzen.
How you guys doing?
Jesse Jantzen, welcome to Menace and The Man.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be on with you guys.
Dude,
Are we on? Are we on right
we're
now?
on,
now?
dude.
We're
You're freaking on.
Ooh, baby.
Woo! Dude,
How's it going?
Going pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Doing well. Getting back in the swing of things after our big event on Monday, which I was so thankful that you came, even though I tried to screw you over with tickets last minute.
No, it's all good. So Jesse Jantzen is now the president?
Co-chairman of Beat the Streets.
Co-chairman of Beat the Streets. Jesse, let's inform the people a little bit what Beat the Streets is about.
Of course. Beat the Streets is a youth development nonprofit in the 5 boroughs of New York City. We have a universe of about 3,500 male and female student athletes from middle school to high school. Our women's program has grown exponentially over the past, I'd say, 2-3 years, where now we have a female league only, where they'll wrestle each other, where in the past the women would wrestle, or the girls would wrestle the boys. So we're growing, and we provide mentorship, tutoring, internships, access to, athletic training and wrestling, gear, 3 training centers in the 5 boroughs, and then all the life lessons that come along with sports, specifically wrestling, which is a host of things that you know very well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Which is kind of capacity for suffering and discipline, organizational skills, hard work, and then the list goes on.
Yeah, because I mean, when you think about the modern day millennial, I want to fucking choke them. And, having 2 little boys, I'm like, yo, they don't have to wrestle. They don't have to fight. They will play some sport in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I mean, the lessons through sport are they parallel life and they're really important, whether it's teamwork, interacting with others, endurance and just challenges, adversity. People always ask me, how do I make my kids tough or this or that? And, wrestling has this like special way of pairing humility and confidence like no other thing I've ever experienced.
Right.
And it's hard. I mean, I love baseball, I love soccer, and I love, football internationally, but I love those two sports separately, but they're very different in the lessons you learn and the things you go through.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily good or bad, but it is very different. So, wrestling's special in that capacity.
Yeah. I mean, I remember in high school, it was the wrong way to do it, but I would sit there and my dad would be like, hey, you're not going to eat dinner? I'm like, no. In 9th, 10th grade, he's like, I don't get it. But, for anybody else, like, the fact that you would starve just because you think that's going to help you win is mind-blowing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then that's like that's what I want to do is win at all costs. If you're like, eat this pig shit, I would have eaten the pig shit.
Well, exactly.
That's what we were just talking about with Jared. His weight cutting's fucked up. And like the MMA aspect where you're taking punches to the head, it's messed up. And then wrestling weight cutting where you're doing it for this long stretch, it could take the toll on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Wrestling adds that element of difficulty and complexity even above MMA, because most of the times in a busy year in MMA, I don't know, what do you have, 5 to maybe 7 fights the most? I mean, not many guys do more than
No, that's a lot. Yeah.
That's
what I mean.
4.
I would say that's the most, right? I mean,
4.
I don't know anyone that's done. I've heard of guys doing 5, but it's really 1 or 2.
My first year of MMA, I did 9, but that's because I just came off wrestling, and that's you're about to touch on that right now. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, the point is that we're making weight every single weekend in wrestling. You're making weight twice a year. And so if you do crush yourself in MMA twice a year, it doesn't feel good. But you're a day before weigh-ins. You're probably a little smarter because there's revenue in, there's money in this sport. So you have a team of guys sometimes. At a certain level, you usually get a nutritionist. And you probably do it a little bit better. I think we grew up during our time, which was, you crash diet, you get the water out of your system and you make weight. And that's the one thing that's not great about the sport, but it's also the badge of honor that makes you pretty tough. So I don't know how I feel. I think I would like to take a lot of weight cutting out of it, but it definitely does make you tough.
Yeah. So since we've already talked about Beat the Streets, let's talk about the lineup you put together, dude. That was a fire show.
Yeah, it was a sick lineup.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I can't take all the credit because we had a full staff working hard to make sure we put the show together and the lineup. But I will say I've been preaching this narrative, and this is it. It's basically, in my opinion, wrestling is the greatest combat sport in the world. It's the only combat sport where you can get a college degree, and it's a sport as far as MMA discipline that's winning at all the professional fight organizations statistically. And I think this year we decided to embrace that and sell that instead of being like, oh, it's barbaric and our kids is youth development. Well, guess what? We supported boxing within the city and we supported people using that as a vehicle to get a better life. Why aren't we supporting wrestling as a combat sport? And I felt that would bring in a bigger audience. That would bring in the UFC and Bellator, like you saw this year with Ben Askren and Henry Cejudo coming.
Yep.
And then that would scale the event. And what we need is dollars, like anything in the world. It runs on money, and we need to scale and raise money. So that was a big piece, getting Jordan and Ben to agree to wrestle each other. And then putting the Yanni and Bajrang match and, all the just studs that came out for the national champions versus the world team. We felt keeping it domestic, other than the Indian silver medalist, Bajrang, would bring in a huge audience because college wrestling has a major following, as you know.
Yes.
The NCAA tournament sold out every round with 20,000 people in Pittsburgh. It's there's a real following there. So I think that's kind of like, how it all came together and, really turned out to be a nice event.
So let's talk about the matches, starting from what was the first, you guys did a bunch of high school matches first, right? And then you went into
Then we went into, I think, with Soriano, the first match. It was a crazy night, so I have to go through and look at the lineup again. But Soriano versus Cologne he might have been one of the first matches, right? Or was it?
Because I got there a little bit late. I got there around 7, where who's Long Island's guy?
Oh, so there was 2 high school matches. It was Aragonia from New Jersey versus Busiello,
right?
Who's the 5-time state champion Long Island guy. So It was frustrating for me because I have all the Long Island pride in the world, and now you're a Long Island guy, Dennis, and we got our butt kicked.
Bro, hang on. As soon as he got tossed off the stage, he kind of packed it in.
Well, he might have been hurt. I mean, he might have been concussed. I didn't get to follow up yet, but that was
I would rather a guy take the time to like get his head examined and come back full force than just, you know what, let me get tossed my back and just lay here. That's me personally. You know?
Yeah, I agree. As a coach, maybe they should have pulled him out and said, hey, let's make sure you're okay. Take a full minute to kind of get yourself collected.
Yeah.
And because you're right, he came back and he was a different wrestler and he didn't seem in it and he almost wanted to be done after that.
Right.
But again, he might have been pretty hurt and he just was tough and he just went out there to try to honor the match. So
I mean, I'm very honest, and you have to be honest with your corners in MMA, and I think in wrestling too. You know, hey, how you feeling? Yo, don't feel good. Like, I'm like, this hurts. Like,
But
okay, my coach will go to bat for me.
sometimes the coach will smack you in the head and be like, don't be a pussy, and send you out there.
Yeah, you know what? Those coaches nowadays, like, are becoming extinct.
The coach might not smack you in the head. He might just say, you know, get
Like,
out there. You're
hang
tougher
on.
than this.
It's not like this kid is a 5-time state champion. It's not like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing or how, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, he's been working together with his coach probably for a long time where they had this connection.
Yeah.
And I've heard that from him. I heard sometimes when things don't go his way, he will just like, oh, darn, and slap to his back and get packed.
Well, the kid's probably used to crushing everyone all the time. 5-time
Right.
state champ. I don't know if he's ever lost. So sometimes it's just growing pains. He has to realize you're going to face
Adversity.
tough matches. Yeah, and where is he now? The big is Arizona State the big what? They're not the Big Ten. What are they? Pac-12?
Pac-12, I think. Yeah.
So he'll have tough matches day in and day out. So I'm sure he'll adjust. He's a great athlete, but you're right. It seemed like things went against him, and it just snowballed.
And that's a tough thing, and you know it for you know, kids when they go from high school to college to adjust. Because, hang on, day one when he gets in that college room, he's going to get fucking smacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember when freshmen come in, I'm like, yo, let me fucking lay it on you right now just so you know that you will never get this fucking spot. Just so you know. So let me fucking put it on you fucking mean. And the thing is, also, you're doing that kid a fucking favor, too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think that's a quick education. So you're right, and people do. You know, you want to set a precedent, and I don't know. I think he's a tough kid. I think it's going to be fine. I think that match was a little out of character. By the way, I think that New Jersey kid JoJo is freaking tough.
Oh yeah,
So-
that kid's a fucking house.
Yeah, and New Jersey State is the toughest right now, without question. If you watch the NCAA championship, they had the most All-American, the most national champions. I mean, it's tough to win a state title in New Jersey right now. So I just think that combination of that kid just being an animal, Adam having a bad match, getting shooken up. It was probably, selfishly, the mat being small made it exciting. It was like American Gladiator. It was
Yes,
Thunderdome.
I was thinking that. The thing is, especially for that level of wrestling, man, when I got on a double leg, I would know when you got on a double leg, you were running a motherfucker. And
Oh my
Jordan
God.
Burroughs was
Jordan
wrestling that
Burroughs.
night,
Oof.
and I knew he was going to run a motherfucker. So, like, outside
It
of, like, the
almost seemed like-
circle.
Yeah, it almost seemed like they wanted to for the excitement. Luckily, it was padded, and we had people
Yeah.
there because we thought the mat might have been. It was a full size mat, but we thought because the out of bounds, it could be tight.
Yeah.
Lesson learned: next year we make it bigger, or we make sure it's really safe. It was tough, but
Or-
I didn't. Or we go American Gladiators.
Or hear me out.
Thunderdome.
Hear me out. You
All
were
right.
in Real Pro Wrestling. I don't know if any of you guys remember of Real Pro Wrestling.
I remember it.
That's right.
It's where they took the fucking best dudes in the country and they started making like state teams where they wrestled each other.
Yeah, I
and they
remember.
tried to switch up the rules a little bit where if you like threw them out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
There was extra points involved in that.
By the way, it was so fun. It was crazy because you could do like a 10-point move. It was like NBA jams back in the day.
Yeah.
I
It
remember
was like-
a lot of MMA guys did it.
A lot of
guys
MMA
that went
guys that
on to MMA.
yeah. So like DC was in it, right? Pat Cummings,
King Mo.
DC, King Mo, Joe Warren. We had everybody. It was an
Yeah.
exciting thing. What they did was they put a ramp. So if you did fall off, it was angled padded mat. So you
Right.
didn't just fall into the moat. So it softened the blow when you got thrown out of bounds. So I don't mind. I mean, we can't change the rules if we're going to make these real matches, because guys will be like, hey, I'm getting ready for the Olympics. I'm not going to do some weird rules and risk getting hurt doing something crazy. Otherwise, if we had a professional league, I'd be a proponent of changing the rules to make it super exciting.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people share that sentiment. But anyway, it was kind of cool, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll go back to that another day. So the next match, I think, was my homie Anthony Piccinini versus
your homie Nick Piccinini. Anthony Piccinini.
Nick Piccinini versus who do you wrestle?
Jack Mueller at UVA.
Yeah, so
from UVA.
My dude Piccinini, I kind of talked to him after the match. I'm like, dude, because the thing is, he's so great to getting to these low shots. And he's so great at people like sprawling and stuff like that, and then like for folk style, and then he like makes it work out his way. But in freestyle, you cannot stop your movement. And he was getting locked up and getting rolled over, and he's still very green to it. You know, I think he still has a little bit of time to make it.
Yeah, I think it's probably an adjustment to freestyle, and maybe his style is a little bit more conducive to collegiate.
Yes.
Also, I think that kid Jack Mueller is a stud style. Kendall through high school, and you know very well Kendall's an Olympic gold medalist and can wrestle freestyle.
Right.
So I think it was a bad style matchup on top of maybe the Mueller just having a better freestyle background.
Yeah.
Or just a slow night for Long Island, baby. Ouch.
Yeah. Now I'm being like, you know, one-sided here. I'm being like, I think my boy beats him in a folk style match all day.
Well, we could probably pull that up. I don't know. Did they wrestle this year?
No.
They were both, and he was second, and Piccinini was third or fourth at NCAAs?
He was fifth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's a toss-up in folk style.
Yeah, but I guess gotta go with my guy, right? And then
gotta go.
What was the next match we had?
James Green versus Anthony Ashnall.
Right, that was national champ versus this dude's been doing this for a minute.
James Green.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been second and third in the world, I believe. He's tough as nails, athletic, strong, just solid defense and a good double. I think a high crotch. And he looked good. I mean, Anthony is coming off of a ton of momentum, winning NCAA championship for the first in Rutgers history with Soriano.
Right.
And from the coaches, Green, there's no one he can't beat. He's probably the best in the world, but sometimes I think there's a little performance anxiety, or he underperforms where he could be. That's what I hear. But I mean, he looked good that night for sure.
Right. And I mean, it was like, it almost looked like, he's, the Rutgers guy, he's just not quite yet. He didn't really get that man strength yet, whereas Green is he's a little older, a little more, bigger bones,
experience, maturity, strength.
But
Anthony, it seemed like Anthony was, coming back late and getting his offense going. Scored last 2 points or 4 points. So
yes.
He battled him, which was cool.
Well, I did like that because the thing is as he's gonna be around for a minute, So even if Green's up so many points and all right, let me back out. Dude, I'm still gonna come at you like a bat out of hell. Just so you know, next time we wrestle, I'm gonna bring the same intensity.
Yeah. He didn't see. It just seemed like that was a good experience for him. He got that match in an exhibition, and that'll serve Anthony probably more than it's going to serve James. I think.
Okay, what was the next match?
Superman Kyle Snyder versus Nishan Rondawa. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but he's Canadian number one.
Now, was Snyder? Because in my head, I'm looking at this wrestling card, if you will, the same way I looked at like a fight card in terms of the popularity or the talent was in order of the card, meaning Ben Askren and Jordan Burroughs being the best. That's why their main event. I thought Kyle was pretty far down the card.
Well, this is what it was. It was the best matchups and the biggest draw. Kyle, had he been wrestling Sajalayev of Russia, probably would have been second to last to Jordan. The only reason Jordan and Askren was because Askren's UFC popularity and new fame, and Jordan. It wasn't really in order of who's the best because Jordan isn't even the best in the world right now. Jordan was third in the world. And, I think Snyder was second in the world.
Got you.
So if we were going by that, it would be like David Taylor would have probably closed it out, and Jaden Cox, because I think they were both world champions last year.
Got you.
So it was our guess on what's the most popular matches.
Got you. So Kyle Snyder, like his opponent he souped his opponent, which was dope. That's fun to watch, especially at fucking that weight class. You don't see that very
since
often.
That's probably the only back arch Kyle Snyder has ever hit in his life or ever will. And it was awesome. Like the guy is a hammer, and he scores on short offense and ankle picks and high crotches. He doesn't score on throws, really. It's not really his bread and butter. Well, not usually. Maybe it's a new thing.
I love watching his like Instagram and watching him pushing a sled of 1,000 pounds.
Oh, he's a beast.
Yeah,
Insane.
He's just so strong, and he trains so hard, and he's going to be a tough guy to beat consistently, no matter who you are. And he's got a great frame of mind. He'll wrestle anybody. This year it was tough because he's small. We wanted him to wrestle Gable Stevenson, and he just said doesn't want to give away that much weight anymore because he's freestyle weight class is much lower. So
right.
I think that might have been even more exciting to see the young stud coming up, Gable Stevenson versus him.
Yeah,
but it's just kind of a different weight class.
Because what's his weight class in like pounds?
I think it's 220. I gotta double check. Who knows the conversion on kilos? It's impossible. No, I'm just kidding. Well, 2.2 to 1. So I think it's 220.
Okay.
Something like that. And then Gable's probably the upside of the 265, right?
Yeah. And then what do we have after that?
We had then it was Colon versus Soriano, which was a good one.
That was a fun one. The young buck getting it done. Now the thing is, hang on. I mean, I'm watching the match and they're getting hit with these like stall calls. I'm like, dude, what? These guys are hand fighting like animals. They're constantly moving. I thought the stall calls were really weird. Am I mistaken in that manner, or?
Yeah, they might have been calling it early in some of those matches. I think what they were doing, generally, if there's just no points scored, they trade off. So maybe they're both not really stalling, but
okay.
They really want to incentivize action and points on the board. So they say, okay, now you're on the shot clock.
So what is the shot clock? Is like when are you on the shot clock?
The ref decides who he thinks more passive or stalling, and sometimes it's almost a flip of the coin in their head because both people are kind of stalling.
Okay.
So if it's blatant, it's easy. Sometimes it's blatant, and So
right.
The referee will just be like, okay, Joe Colon, you are inactive. Caution, you're on the clock. So in 30 seconds, if Colon doesn't score any points, he loses a point. Both guys can score normally, but if it ends again 0-0 in that 30 seconds, the guy that wasn't on the clock gets a point.
Got you. Because both of them ended up getting a point. I was like, all right, now that's fair,
Because they were both on the clock.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, that was huge for Rutgers on that one. That kid's a stud.
Yeah. I mean, Colon was third in the world. Soriano obviously coming off a national title in college.
Yeah.
Interesting matchup because Colon's big and strong and taller, and he's really good at defense when you're on his legs, and he's got an amazing gut wrench. So Soriano wrestled very conservative because if he got taken down, that could have been game over. Right. I mean, the guy's been turning everyone in the world with a gut wrench. And he wrestled a perfect game plan. And by the way, scored a really nice takedown in a tough position to finish.
Yeah. Now Soriano, I'm like, dude, what is this? How old is that kid?
He should be a junior, so I don't know, 20 years old.
Like he needs fucking needle and thread because he is ripped.
Yeah, that dude's solid, and that's the thing. Colon is stronger than everyone. I don't think he's stronger than Nick Soriano.
Dude, you know what I think about? I'm like, he could be like the next American Psycho. I could see him doing some he has that look in his eye. Like, yo, you're weird. Like, there's something like weird in that head, right?
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I know he does a lot of push-ups and does a lot of awesome social media stuff. He's just doing tons of push-ups. He's just not stopping, that guy. He's an animal.
And then our next match was.
This was the worst because of the injury. This was Dave Taylor versus Drew Foster.
Right. I remember being hype. He came out to Taylor Gang. I was like, okay, get it, Magic Man. And then they got into a little scramble. He tweaked his knee, grabbing it tough.
Yeah.
And then he took like a a second, wrapped it up, got up strong. I was like, okay, he's gonna make it happen. And then he got pushed and like just his knee was uneasy. Do you get any follow up on that? Like, how is he doing? Is he gonna?
I talked to him, but he didn't tell me exactly what's going on. I think he's been a little shy because maybe he's not sure if he's wrestling. Doesn't want people to know if he's hurt because someone knows. The answer is I don't.
Okay.
I know that he said he's doing okay. I see him training. He's working out.
Okay.
So he's not completely immobile. He's doing cross training and working out. Whether he's wrestling every day or not, I don't know. But it seemed like it was tweaked and he's going to be fine. But I don't foresee it being an ACL or something too crazy.
Right.
And he wanted to keep wrestling, and Mike Novogratz stepped in and said, "Hey, dude, it's not worth it. You're not going. We don't want this. We've never had an injury here at Beat the Streets. We're not going to start now.
Right.
Costing you a world championship or something like that."
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate, but
yeah, I was sitting with a homie, and he was like, why doesn't he just throw in the towel? And I was like, dude, here's why he's gonna throw in the towel. Like, at this level, now David Taylor has a loss to this fucking guy. Even though it's for charity and whatever, but like, no, fuck that. He wants to be the best in the fucking world. That nobody has beat him in so much time. It doesn't matter if he lost by injury default. He doesn't want to lose. That's it. That's how they operate. That's how they work. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. You can't turn it on. If you're a champion like that, you can't turn it on and off. You're a warrior, and you're a warrior every match. So he wanted to keep going. And by the way, that guy Drew Foster looked freaking good. Everyone told us, "Oh, you can't make that matchup. Drew won nationals, but it's a fluke. This guy's not going to compete with him." Guess what? He was in on his legs twice, I think, and looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know David's good there, but I thought Drew went out there to win the match and looked good. It unfortunately got hurt, but I'm happy for the fact that Drew came out, wrestled for us, and looked good. Looked solid.
I love watching the Funk. Love it.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate when some joints get torn up a little bit. And then was Yanni to follow?
No, so we have Jaden Yanni Burroughs. So the next one was Jaden Cox versus the Princeton guy that looks like Shoot from Vision Quest. Patrick Brucky, I think. Yeah, it's Brucky.
Was that one a tech fall?
Yeah, I think that's I think Bucky's the sophomore, junior, and not doing as much freestyle. I mean, you got one of the best wrestlers ever in college and internationally. It was a little bit of a mismatch for him, but he went out firing, trying to score, went out trying to win, which I loved. I mean, go after him.
Yeah.
And he's about the worst guy you could go after, Jaden Cox, because his defense is unreal. He's got a great offense.
He's so strong.
And he's got hips like you've never seen. I mean, that was the match. He picked him up by his waist from the ground, did a Greco lift, and threw him over his head.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Insane. And then Yanni was up.
Oh, yeah.
This kid's unreal. Unreal.
Yeah, what did you guys think of that match? It was obvious. It was the best match of the night for sure.
I was watching him during the US Open at the qualifier, and I'm like, dude, this kid like knocking down Jordan Oliver, who I heard in the room Oliver beats him. I heard Oliver almost text him.
I believe that because big brother syndrome. He's probably a little heavier because Jordan Oliver, I think it's not the easiest thing in the world to make weight because it's a lighter weight now.
Yep.
And I think he was banged up at the Open, had some rib injury. Okay. But again, that match ended up not being very close anyway. So I do believe, so I don't know. I mean, Yanni, his flexibility, his body awareness, mat awareness, his offense, his confidence, and his carefree attitude. It's like, I don't know how you beat that combination. It's unreal.
So I was with Gray Maynard, like you saw overseas, and we were talking about that match. And we're talking about Jordan Oliver versus Yanni, and Gray was saying about how there's some guys like in his wrestling room that he would, trash, and then they met up at like a, how sometimes you wrestle your own teammate at tournaments and stuff like that. So he's wrestling like, one of his teammates, and he's like, dude, like this guy's fucking trying to bring it right now, and like the thing is when you beat the shit out of someone all the time, when they actually like show up when you're like, this is gonna be easy. It fucks with it, like it's like annoying versus like it's tough to like turn that switch back to like, oh fuck, I gotta fuck you up, You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's kind of what Gray was saying maybe happened with the Yanni and Jordan Oliver thing. You know, like, whoa, this isn't supposed to be this close. And then it's too late. You know?
Totally. I mean, that's totally possible. The other thing is some guys wrestle very open in practice because they want to learn and take risk. And then when they get, not that, by the way, Yanni doesn't change anything. He's super open to matches. So I don't think this applies to him. But I do see it with many other guys that get beat in the room and then they go and they have a game plan and they stick to it and no one beats them in matches. So there are those guys that are willing to take risk in a room, don't take risks on the mat, but they have a good style and they win. So I don't know. But the Indian guy,
he beats the Indian guy who's like number one, no?
He was number one in the world.
Yeah.
And not to discredit him, by the way, he wrestled. He's always good late matches. He gives up early points, but he was coming on Yanni. I mean, that was a 10-8 match, and if it went another 30 seconds, I don't know what would have happened. I mean, that guy kept coming, and he's tough and tricky, and just, you know, I hope to see them wrestle a number of times going forward because that's going to be exciting.
Tons of respect between the two because I watched like a Flow Wrestling kind of little quick documentary on that guy from India, and I was like, oh, damn, this guy is the deal, huh? And then when I saw you guys had him against Yanni, I'm like, oh, shit. And then when I saw the outcome, I was like, oh, shit.
You know, we lucked out so much because we were trying to do all the NCAA champs versus the world team. And then guess what? People started catching feelings. They started getting worried. They were like, oh, I got to wrestle this guy 4 times. I'm nervous, blah, blah, blah. You know, some of the college guys felt their style was good, so they didn't want to wrestle the guys. Some of the world guys were like, I don't want to beat the same guy 4 times because they thought these guys were tough. So having Bajrang in New York training here was just such a blessing because we were like, you know, we didn't have to fly him over. He was local, and he wanted to do it.
Man.
So it was unbelievable, actually. And it turned out to be our best match. So.
And then Jordan versus Ben, the main event.
The main event, which was kind of dope to walk out. I got fired up. All the cell phones and the MMA style walkout, UFC style, whatever. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. So I was with a guy who was like, "Yo, I got tickets. I can get us closer for the main event. Like I got a guy." So I was like, "Okay." So I'm like kind of in the aisle. And I didn't know that they were coming in the way they came in. So the security was like, yo, get out of the center. I'm like, dude, like, whoa, like, relax, dude. What's your deal? He's like,
I'll choke you out, guys.
Get out. Yeah, he was like, get out of the center. I'm like, dude, listen, you're taking your job very seriously. Like, I'll be out in 1 second. Like, relax. He's like, no, I need you out. And then when they came in the way they came, I was like, oh.
That's why.
Like, I mean, if he told me that would have been like, listen, the guy's coming through here. Like, get out of here. All right. I'd be like, oh, shit. But I thought he was just, like, being, like, fucking juiced on his power. I'm like, dude, get, like, nice and easy here, pal.
Ease up.
But I was hoping for some more funk. But Jordan was not having it.
Well, here's the deal. One, Ben hasn't competed in wrestling in 11 years. 2008. So there's one. Two, the style that Ben lost to was exactly Jordan's style. He lost to the Cuban in the Olympics. The matches he would lose were generally Chris Pendleton, who was athletic, strong, and clean, and had really clean finishes and well coached. That was a little bit of his kryptonite, and he knew that going to this match. Trained as hard as he could, but he was doing it for the challenge, but also, to grow the sport and be amazing. So he gets the biggest thank you in the world from me. I mean, his ego, he's got fights. He's going to take a lot of heat for that from Usman and everyone else. And by the way, I still think he's going to be UFC champ and love the guy.
Yeah.
But it was pretty lopsided, and it was not much he could have done. He couldn't get to his positions. He couldn't get to a crackdown or a funk, and Jordan fought from the outside and just was really clean on everything he shot.
Yeah, and then the one time he stopped Jordan's, like, penetration, I was like, okay, we might get some funk. Jordan was like, nah, Hulk him. Hulk lift. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
That dude is a freak.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wonder at their prime if it might have been a little closer. I think it probably would have been closer. I don't know if, and I love Ben, but I just think, Jordan's one of the best ever. It's hard.
I think, like you said, stylistically, it's a tough matchup for him.
So we had Ben on the week before.
Oh, yeah.
The week before. And you know, he was just like, he was still keeping the you know,
The hype machine
band,
going.
yeah, the hype machine. But like afterwards, I saw him talk. He's like, listen, man, he's the best in the world. I was just, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's see what's up. You know what I mean? And he talked about how it's not about, you know, getting yourself involved in things that you know you're going to kick butt in, but like challenging yourself and getting into some things where you're not supposed to win. See if you can still win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I loved it. There was a quote exactly that. He said it in a way that I really loved. It was, you know, it basically like, you know, sometimes you got to accept, you know, being brave or stepping up to the challenge doesn't mean you step up every time you know you're going to win and win easily. And it wasn't that either, but it was something like that. And he, you know, talk about a great guy. I mean, he came over for nothing, volunteered his time. You know, obviously it helps to build his brand, but it doesn't help the fact that Jordan kicked his butt and he's got to fight other wrestlers and all this stuff. Like, yeah, that was definitely going to be a big shot to his ego, and he still did it. And guess what? He didn't skip a beat, and I'm sure he'd wrestle for us again.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But, hey, Jesse, we had you on for 30 minutes. I want to get the Jesse Jantzen story eventually.
Absolutely. I feel like we didn't go
But
there.
tonight I just wanted to beat the streets while it was still hot.
I love it. I appreciate you know, you being there, and this is, you know, great. And just talking about Beat the Streets is great marketing, and I'm so excited for our future and then wrestling more broadly. I think we're going to grow this sport into something special. So
Heck yeah, man. So I mean,
love it.
we want to have you on the reg when Corey's in town. Maybe we get the bros back
love
in
that.
their native
Ooh.
Long Island area, come in studio.
Yeah, we have our own studio now, Jesse, so we'd love for you to come in studio sometime.
I would love it too. We might have to get out in a boat one day and do a live from the wakeboard.
Don't threaten
You
us
know?
with a good time.
We do have some of the equipment.
That's what we're on now is a traveling setup. We got it all, so let us know when.
Corey's on board with that. I know that. Let's do it.
I'm in.
All right, so Jesse Jantzen, thank you again for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Don't be a stranger. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Peace.
See ya. Later.
Man.
He could talk. He's like he's got the gab over
hang
there.
on. He was a 4-time All-American, national champion, and he graduated from Harvard
I was gonna say,
in 4 years.
I
went to Bloomsburg.
Is he the smartest wrestler?
And I was on a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
And he like trademarked the crab ride.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. We didn't get into anything about Jesse Jantzen. We just got into his business now, which is Beat the Streets. So.
Well, that's not even his business. That's like
that's not even his business. But that's like his hobby that he's doing.
Jesse Jantzen. So there's like a handful of people growing up that I was like, Jesse Jantzen was one of them. You want to know the list? It's Barry Sanders, Jesse Jantzen, Sammy Henson, Kerry McCoy. Those were. Now we got Julio Arce. Arce.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Julio Arce, welcome to Menace and The Man.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me.
Woo! Fight week, baby! Let's go!
You know it.
Let's go!
Stan the Man here, Dennis the Menace Bermudez, and now we're joined by UFC featherweight Julio Arce, fighting this weekend.
What's up, guys? What's going on, man? I'm so pumped for this.
How we feeling, my guy?
Dude, it's one, it's been a while since like, you know, me and you talk, but
Yes.
It's been freaking, it's been amazing. I'm so hyped that I'm getting to fight this Saturday. I was like beforehand actively trying to look for a fight, but you know, finally, you know,
Man,
got my opponent. I'm ready to go.
I tell you what. So when you got in the UFC, I was like, fuck. Because me and him have moved around, and it is not fucking fun, dude.
Yeah.
Not fun. He's a goddamn problem. Like, I pride myself on my wrestling, and I'll shoot on Julio, and he's like, nope, not today. I'm like, what? Did you wrestle in high school or college or like?
I had no experience. I was just, you know, your average just kid eager to learn. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Those
And
Tiger
like
Schulmann's
I
guys.
like know this. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Why can't I take this guy down? I had to like legit chain wrestle, like hit 2-3 shots together to get him to take him down. And then when he hits the ground, he pops back up. I'm like, dude, what the fuck this? And then he's switching angles. Fucking hang on. The first time I met Julio, he came into Belmore Kickboxing. I thought, hang on, I thought he was a boxer. He did, I don't know, 8 rounds with Chris Algieri, and like, it wasn't like Chris was, you know, I mean, it was competitive.
Yeah, man.
So I thought he was a boxer, and then he came over. I think did MMA rounds. I was like, whoa, hang on, what?
Yeah, I did. I think I did rounds with you, and then with Andre.
Yeah,
I think I did 1 round with Gregor.
Yeah. So hang on. So once I got you, so I hit up Jimmy. I'm like, yo, I know it's last minute. Can I get Julio? He's like, probably. Here's his number. I'm like, all right, sick. Hit you up. You come on. And then I got the thinking, Stan, since we had the setup to do it, like we should definitely one day
Tiger Schulmann's.
Yep, we're gonna go to We're gonna do a Tiger Schulmann's Menace and The Man episode. Sit down with all you guys and shoot the shit. If you guys would be game for that, I know.
Dude, we would totally be all game. That would be awesome.
Bro, I want Tiger Schulmann on it too. I love that guy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He's a G.
Yeah, totally be down for it.
Yeah. And even like I was gonna say, like Jimmy Rivera didn't wrestle either. All these Tiger Schulmann's guys have sick wrestling. None of them have wrestling backgrounds.
Well, the thing I love most about the Tiger Schulmann guys is that when I first met Julio, it was just like, I'll fight anything. Yeah. It doesn't have to, just because I'm an MMA fighter. He takes MMA. It's just I'm a fighter. I will box. I will kickbox. I will do MMA. I'll do submission grappling.
I think that's their like MO almost. Like all the students, even the up and comers that are like not in the UFC, the 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, that's what they do, right?
Yeah.
Julio,
can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, look, for me, like my journey to actually even just going pro, like I started doing MMA, and then I had to do a bunch of jiu-jitsu tournaments before I can actually do MMA. I did amateur kickboxing, and then they had me do the New York City Golden Gloves, and they had me do every discipline. Plus, of course, just do some wrestling and just like nonstop hit every single discipline that involves when it comes to, finally going into the professional MMA, because I don't want to just be one-dimensional.
Right.
And neither do any of our other fighters. So it's like we're like, okay, if you want to go pro, you can't let people take you down. You gotta have good takedown defense. If you want to go pro, you cannot just keep fighting off your back. You gotta learn how to hold top pressure. You gotta do some boxing. So it's like Tiger just kept putting us. He's like, okay, look, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. You show me you can handle yourself and you can stop people from taking you down, or you can stand in front of these boxers, or you can do this. It's like, then we'll talk about you going pro. So, like I was one of the first to take that, the journey of doing the MMA, boxing, kickboxing, and all these other disciplines to be able to go pro. So it's pretty awesome to see just like how, how they're building us up. So then when we go into the cage, we're comfortable in every area, whether, you're going against somebody who's just straight wrestles, or somebody who's just a jiu-jitsu guy, or just somebody who's just a striker. Like, we'll know how to handle each situation.
Yeah, because I've watched you in ring combat. I've watched you also. I commentated one of your fights for Glory.
Yeah,
before UFC, and like he beat up a dude who that's all he does is kickbox. He's a professional kickboxer who Arce fucking TKO'd him, and like he also does jiu-jitsu and wrestling. I'm like, God damn. And like probably one of your stronger things that I love about you is like he just keeps like picking up the ante.
Yeah.
Up in the ante. Like the next round, he's gonna bring even more heat and more pressure. It's
ridiculous cardio.
Yeah.
The conditioning has been always like my greatest thing.
Because you're Colombian.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm Colombian.
Primary. That's just Colombian, straight up, 100%.
No, like I was born here. Just my family is all from Colombia.
Yeah, so like you're American Colombian.
Yeah, I'm American Colombian.
Like I claim to be Puerto Rican, but I can't speak the language. I'm only half Puerto Rican. The other half is British, and I was born in the United States.
Yeah, I was actually born in Miami, and then I went back to live over there for a couple of years, and then I came back to the U.S.
So now talk to us. How'd you find Tiger Schulmann? Is that where you started?
Yeah, that I've been with them now for 17 years, so they brought me up all the way to this high level. I was just like my sister when I was younger. Like I used to be a very fat and chubby kid, and I wasn't really like fitting into like other team sports. So like I needed like something just for myself, and just like where I can kind of accomplish my own individual goals. And, she brought me to Tiger Schulmann's, and from there on, ever since, I've just been with them.
Yeah,
17 years later now.
They got a few of you guys that went from infancy to the UFC. Him,
Yeah.
Lyman Good, Jimmy Rivera, that were like kids when you started, right?
Yeah, you got, Shane Burgos, Mike
Louis,
Pizzano.
right?
Yeah, Lou. You have a Nick Pace. So you got a bunch of people that just came up through Tiger and just who've been with them for. I mean, some of them have been there for now almost 25 years.
Oh, that's crazy.
Which is crazy. I know. So these guys, we were born and bred from them. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I always talk about Tiger Schulmann. He definitely transitioned very well into the MMA game because he was like a fighter. So once it became MMA, he transitioned from the karate, and now you look at him, he's selling UFC to people, selling MMA.
Yeah, it's insane. Look, we were one of the few that, when we used to be like just Tiger Schulmann's karate, we decided to evolve. We didn't want to just, okay, let's just stick to what we already have and that's it. So he's like, oh, I'm going to go start. He just started kind of absorbing the knowledge of, jiu-jitsu and wrestling and all that. And, now like we've evolved to, this is where we are now.
Yeah, he's very smart. Like when I've seen him come into Lima and do the coaching and stuff, you could see that he's not like just a striker. He actually is like a student of the game, even at his age.
Yeah, he did his, he did wrestling as well when he was younger. Like it's cool that he had, like such an open mind and just decided to evolve Tiger Schulmann's, to where it is now. So it's pretty awesome because I know, like, back then people only stuck to one certain style.
Yeah.
And that's all that it was. It's like nothing else. But he's like, nah. It's like he adapted, and this is where we are now, and it's great.
So how big of a fan are you of the sport? Like, are you constantly watching all the MMA and fighting you could watch, or just doing it in itself is too much?
I watch it here and there, but look, I'm no Shane Burgos. He's like an encyclopedia of fighting.
Oh, wow.
He knows literally everything. So if you ever talk to him about fighting, like you name the person, he'll know every single thing about them.
Wow.
But I am, I constantly watch, especially when there's like featherweights fighting. I always I'm constantly watching. I keep an eye out for it.
Quick question: when a featherweight is fighting, and you're watching it, does your body kind of change? Like,
your senses heighten?
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I know.
Because I feel, it's like you're like, oh my God, it's like that could be me in there. It was like me and this guy might meet up soon. And it's just like all these thoughts start going through your head about, oh man, you're possibly next.
Oh yeah. And then you probably have that thought process too, like he's gonna say my name. Like imagine if someone said your name.
Well, no, like if I'm live and featherweights are fighting, dude, my heart's like, I might as well be cornering one of the guys because I'm like, dude, this might go down. Like, I'm going to be ready. And I'm like, dude, I'll be sitting front row coaching myself like, Dennis, listen, you're not fighting. Relax. Take a deep breath. Like,
that's true.
It's just the senses are like, yo, like, there's the cage. Those guys are in my weight class. There's fucking, crowd's going nuts. Like, I can't help but like this, like, natural feeling of like, fuck, it's going down right now. And like, you're about to do it. And I'm like trying to revert, like, dude, you're not. Dennis.
It's like, calm down. Down.
Has anyone ever called you out?
Yeah.
No.
In the cage after a win?
No.
Yeah.
Who's called you out?
Max Holloway called me out after I beat him.
Really? He called you out after you beat him? That's freaking crazy.
I'd imagine something like that probably gets you like, motherfucker.
Well,
and you,
no,
hop up
yeah.
out of your seat. I'll fight him now.
And then I fucking heard who's the jiu-jitsu nerd in fucking at the 145 weight class? Ryan Hall. I heard he called me after he beat BJ Penn.
In the cage.
Yeah, like, well, no, he didn't call me out. He said, like, yeah, man, it's been tough getting a fight. Like, I called out Dennis Bermudez and Ricardo Lamas. I was like, bitch, I tried to fight you twice.
Yeah.
And you fucking said, no, I can't fight till September. And then I was like, all right, I'll fight you in September. But, like, I just lost my fight to fucking Rick Glenn. I was, like, in the dumps. I'm like, I'll fight him at 155. I'm walking around a little bit, heavier than 155. So I want to fight at 45. And then he goes and fights BJ Penn at 155. Like, you fucking pussy.
Well, exactly. When someone calls out your name, obviously, it gets you animated.
Well, no, hang on. He called my name out after.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Those two things had happened.
So imagine watching a fight, your senses heighten, and then the guy wins, and he goes like, Julio Arce, I'm fighting you next, motherfucker. Like, does some Nate Diaz shit. Yeah. Like, Conor McGregor probably broke his TV that night and was like, fuck this Diaz guy. Fuck this Diaz guy.
Like what happens? Because like I asked Julio how big of a fan he is, because I'm doing it all the time. I watch it if it's like I want to see the entertainment aspect of it, or there's some fires I really want to see, you know.
Yeah.
But it's on all the time and all these different events, so I don't go out of my way to watch it, you know. So a lot of times I would get texts about like what happened, or if someone said my name or something like that. I'm like, oh damn, word.
Yeah.
Never live have I seen it.
Well, for me, I don't think I'm at that level where people are calling me out.
Right.
But
Soon.
you know, like but sometimes, you know, like like Dennis said, you know, sometimes there's so many events are happening like every single week, and you know, like I also kind of want to enjoy my weekends and not think about fighting.
Right.
So, like, unless it's like something that I'm like, all right, I gotta watch this fight because this is like an interesting card. There's some people I want to see fighting here. Then I'll watch it. If not, I just go about my day, enjoy myself. That's it.
Or you catch the highlights.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
The highlights happen the next like a minute right after. It's like on Twitter, on Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes you don't even have to order the pay-per-view or watch the fight nights because they'll just post it right away. They'll post the video.
Right.
Yeah.
Instantly.
So Julio, take us a little bit through fight week. It's Tuesday. When are you heading up to Rochester?
He's there.
Oh, he's
I'm
there
already
now?
there. Yeah, I'm there. I'm right here, just chilling, having fun. You know, did a little because I have my teammate Mike Trezano also fighting the card with me.
Okay.
So we're just chilling. We just did some light work and got like a little sweat, and now just relaxing. Nothing crazy. That's gonna nothing intense throughout fight. We just kind of relax and just get the rest that we normally don't receive. You know, like we don't really get a lot of during the week, especially since we're going nonstop. And that's been that's just been key. Just key to this training camp is just like focus also like on your recovery because I mean look, we're going from jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, sparring, strength and conditioning, then hitting sprints and this and that, and you're doing this kind of on an ongoing basis, and you're doing so much to prepare. Then you look at your recovery, it's like trying to catch up to what you're already trying to do. So it's tough there, but you know what? It's like you have to find a way to kind of fit it in there. So then with the recovery, especially since we're putting our bodies through like hell for 8 weeks.
Yeah, because I've talked to Jimmy a little bit about this. The Tiger Schulmann crew does things a little bit different, don't you guys? You guys train for like an hour, like 2 to 3 hours straight. Getting all the different disciplines, whatever, and then you take like the day off, or you'll do like recovery in the evening. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some of us are training, 2 to 3 hours, and then we're going back to our schools and teaching all day.
Right. Whereas most fighters train like once in the morning, take a break, only for like maybe an hour, and then train again in the evening for maybe an hour. Yeah. You guys bang out 3 hours, back to back to back, bang.
Yeah.
Hang on, I've done that a few times, like training 2.5 hours straight, and like it's kind of nice to be like, you know what, the rest of my day is done.
Yeah.
You just kind of relax the rest of the day.
Right.
It's just great. But, sometimes we'll hit like there'll be double sessions. There'll be like another session at night, but it'll be like something light. Like you'll hit the bag or you'll go for like a nice relaxing run. But then in the morning is where we really focus on like, all the key details.
Right. Where you're keen, you're awake. And then Mike, he won the Ultimate Fighter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome for you guys.
He's
another one, beast.
Yeah, freaking monster.
And he started when he was a kid too, right? With you guys?
Yeah, he started when he was a kid, and now, he was originally he did the Ultimate Fighter at lightweight, but now this fight he's coming back to featherweight.
Okay.
So,
did you ever train with him when he came to Lima?
I trained with him a little bit.
I remember I trained with him the one time. Or one of the times when he came in. And I remember being like, oh, so what are you like, 26, 27? He was like 21. I was like, get the fuck away from me. I'm done with you. Like, get out of here. I'm not training with you. Energizer Bunny, he was. Like, no, like cardio didn't exist to him. He didn't know about getting tired yet.
Yeah, because I remember training with him. I thought he was a lighter weight. And then I see him on the Ultimate Fighter. I was like, okay, I guess he was a 55er. But now that you're telling me he's coming back to 45, I'm like, all right, this makes sense now.
Yeah, I'm guessing the Ultimate Fighter because, since you're constantly, people are like you guys are fighting like every week pretty much. I think for him to cut to 45 throughout that whole, Ultimate Fighter would probably been rough. So that's why he's like, I'll just do it at 55 and take it from there.
Yeah, and I mean, it worked out for him. Look at him now, you know.
Yeah.
Man, he's still undefeated.
So that's pretty dope. Like, I fought with a few teammates before, and it's like bittersweet. It's awesome to like have someone to do the exact same things you're doing at the exact same time, because misery loves company, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, like, if he does a little extra, you're like, well, I'm going to do a little extra, too. You know, we're famous, you know, or vice versa, you know. And you're eating together and cutting weight together and doing sauces together. So that's nice. But there's this, like, one thing about training with or fighting on the same card with a teammate is if, like, they're fighting before you and they lose.
Don't watch. Yeah, you can't watch them.
Yeah. That's the only con. Because I heard the Pettises say that, like, they refuse to fight in the same card anymore together because of only that reason.
Yeah,
you know?
I hear you. Yeah,
but it's so awesome going in together. Like, yo, you ready to fuck some shit up? Like, because I am.
But then imagine when the guy wins before you, though. Then you probably walk.
Well, yeah. I mean, that like I said, that's the only con. But then there's the winning, and it becomes contagious, almost like a wrestling match. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a little bit of a challenge, because then it's like your teammate wins, you're like, all right, I have to try and outdo him somehow.
Right.
Because I remember doing this with it was like when we were in the amateurs, and I had like a bunch of my teammates fighting. This is when we were doing like Lou Nicholas combat.
Yeah, I remember watching you motherfuckers ring combat. Like, one guy would come out and he'd throw some heat, and the next guy would come all fired up. I'm like, God damn it, these guys are fucking firecrackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was always fun because we would actually place bets and like, all right, who's gonna try and finish this fight the fastest?
Wow.
Who's gonna try and do this fast? And we would do this also in the amateur circuit in the kickboxing at the Combat de Capital, and it's always so much fun because every time we would fight there'd be like 10 of us fighting. We'd be like, all right, let's see who finishes the fastest, who has the best fight.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of camaraderie. It was pretty awesome.
And also, you kind of like it. There's confidence in saying that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I don't want to place a bet because I'm not sure if I'm gonna win. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't want your fucking negative shit over here. Like, boy, you're like, yo, I'm gonna beat him up. Like, nah, I'm gonna like, oh yeah, you want to bet on that? You know, like it. Like, when you think it, it's easier for the body to come through and do it.
Yeah.
You know. But for me, man, like once I got to like the big leagues, if you will, like the UFC, I feel like the media, like I wouldn't, like if you had that bet with me, I'm like, no way, dude. I just got to get in there and just win.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it's like, and also I think, you know, when you're doing all this media, it kind of takes away from what your focus sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you probably know this more than I do. Like for me, I only had to do like 2 things on like one day of like maybe 45 minutes of media, and that's it. You probably have to do so much more. So it's like you got like all this thing. You're like, oh, you're cutting weight.
Yeah.
They're doing all this. You're like, oh god.
Yo, the only thing nice about the losing streak was I had to do less and less
started
media.
leaving you alone.
Yeah, I was like, all right, come in. I just gotta like, I don't have to take pictures. Like, all right, just show up, get my fucking money or whatever, and then bounce.
It's like, all right, I'm not.
I'll see you weighing day. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it was. That's how it was for me too. It's like, because like my last fight, like I freaking left it all out there. I didn't win, and then today it was like, all right, just sign the posters. You know, all right, check in. You're good to go.
Yeah. Well, no,
like,
you probably have like 2 phoners from your room, and that's it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
right?
it. That's all
it.
I have.
No open workouts. Like, dude, that's so nice.
Yeah, it's peaceful.
Oh.
I don't mind that. Even when I make it to the high level like that, it's like I just don't want to deal with open workouts. I feel like that's just like you don't need that.
Well, the thing is, so sometimes I watch these open workouts of like these big UFC cards. I'm like, holy shit! Like they're working out in front of like
1,000 people.
Yeah, a shitload of people. But like the open workouts that I've done are like UFC fight nights, and there's like
50,
25 people.
You're getting all hyped up for like,
yeah, like you ready? They're like, yeah.
I like
2
even
kids.
The Donald Cerrone route that he's been going. Donald Cerrone doesn't even answer. He just doesn't do any hitting the mitts, nothing. He just answers questions.
Yeah. Wow. How many fight nights how many open workouts has that guy done?
Endless. Oh yeah, endless. I'm sure.
He's like, I'm done.
That guy probably got to a point where he's like, forget this. I'm just gonna answer questions.
I'm done with this shit by now. But Julio Arce, we want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
Get it done this weekend, and we'll get you back on the show. Win or lose, we'll make you a regular on the show. And we're going to definitely come to Tiger Schulmann's and do that episode.
Nah, he bringing that heat, my dude.
You got it, man.
High volume and no fucks given.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah, it's been real, man. We got trying to get together, man.
Yes. We will bring the show to you guys. How about that next time?
Yeah, man. Whenever you want. I was actually talking to Andre Harrison because I know he's fighting the week after. And I'm like, afterwards, let's all get together and freaking train, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. I'll watch and coach a little bit. Maybe do a half a round.
That's cool, bro.
No, I got one round in me.
You'll do one of those, do one round and then walk off and be like, all right, everybody, next round.
Couple push-ups,
do some takedowns or something. I'm gonna take this one off.
I don't have to anymore,
Yeah. Well, you're the senior now. You're retired. You're an elder statesman. You got a lot of fights. You can definitely pass on wisdom. So, a guy like Julio Arce, I'm sure you can give some tips too.
Oh no, he's got it figured out. High volume, get in the fucking guy's face. There's no quitting this kid. So and you can't teach toughness. You can't teach hard work. But Julio has all those things, man. He's gonna be very, 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 very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
All right. So thank you again, Julio Arce.
Thank you guys for having me.
Kick ass.
Thanks, brother. Take care, man.
Peace.
Peace.
What?
That's it, right?
Yeah, we'll just shoot the shit for a couple minutes and then we'll wrap this episode up.
Fuck yeah, we will.
We gotta always thank our sponsors, G Fuel, giving us this lovely studio, helping us out with this bomb ass computer to stream our shit on.
Yeah, me too.
Look,
I got a G Fuel hat on.
Is that a G Fuel hat? Look at that.
Yeah, I stole it.
I got a G Fuel shaker here. I've been drinking G Fuel this whole show, so I'm gonna be bouncing off the walls as soon as this show's done.
Oh, that's really G Fuel.
It's really G Fuel.
Oh, hell yeah.
Really G Fuel.
What do you mean? It's G Fuel.
Yeah.
Don't be
it's
like
G Fuel every week.
It's OG G Fuel.
Every week we drink G Fuel here. We got to thank our boy Frank over at Home Interiors by Anthony Giaramita. We had an amazing trip to Miami.
We might have Frank come in and just
Chill
put a little
with us.
flair. Put a little flair on this couch.
He's gonna build us a whole new couch.
Ooh.
Whole new couch.
Will it say Menace and the Man on the back?
Ooh, we should get Menace and the Man logo right in the middle, right?
In that Italian leather.
Ooh.
Ooh, now we're
that.
talking.
Come on,
Now
Frank.
we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Wow.
But Home Interiors by Anthony Giaramita, they do everything. Blinds, upholstery, drapery work, all that type of stuff. So check them out. We'll send you guys the link. If you need a lawyer, the law offices of Mike Postiglione, we'll send you guys the link for that as well. And
Our boy Izzy.
with Madison Travel, it's Madison Performance Group. I couldn't really get the gist of that, but our boy Izzy Nicola, I believe it is, for hooking us up with some travel arrangements.
Yeah, he's the one that got us down to Miami.
Yeah, Izzy from Madison Travel.
Then, while we're in Miami, dude, 1947
oh my God,
sent us 170-something beers. Our refrigerator was full.
I'm going to
It was
post the video.
crazy.
I have a nice little video of it, of me collecting the boxes, and then also a video of the beers in the fridge.
An
after the
absurd
fact.
amount of beer that we couldn't even finish it all. I felt I felt horrible leaving the house with them in
not
there.
finishing the beer.
Yeah.
Really? You felt like they defeated you. 1947
Yeah,
won.
1947 won, Menace 0.
I felt
Actually,
like
no,
that
I'm
too.
bringing you with me. Menace and the Man 0.
Bro, Menace and the Man 0. You saw me going. I was going. The funniest thing, I'm laughing to myself still at one point. We'll have to talk more about it on Thursday's episode, if we get a little segment, or even now. But when you said, Stan, there was a point that I was talking to you and you were gone.
Yeah.
That was the 1947.
Yeah, that was all of us, though.
That was
Well, no,
everyone.
hang on. No.
1947 got us nice.
Oh, whoa, what was
The
that?
the 1947 is a nice beer, man. It went down pretty smooth. It's an IPA.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
even. No, it's an Indian beer.
Yeah.
Got you.
Indian beer, but it tasted Budweiser-y.
It
It wasn't bad.
Yeah. Big fan.
Big fan.
Yep.
But also,
Stan, how much for you get 1947 tattooed on you?
Or
a lot of money. I would never get a tattoo.
what about you just drink 1,947 of those beers?
No, I die.
Well, so
No, we already talked about that. Me and Menace were drinking way too much, so we got to avoid becoming alcoholics.
Hey, more beer
Nah,
for
I'm
me.
not gonna become an alcoholic. I'm good.
Yeah, we're not trying to live that
Same.
life.
I'm not a loser. I'm a winner.
But also, we got to shout out Joe Romeo. If you guys are trying to sell a house,
Okay.
J Romeo Realtor on Instagram. If you guys are in the New York area trying to sell a house, and also, actually, let's do we have anyone listening right now? We'll come up with something. We want to give away some Turp House products as well, and some G Fuel. We got some stuff to give away, so maybe Thursday's episode we'll do some giveaways.
Okay.
But go to turphouse.com. Use the code MANSHOW. You can get 20% off your purchase.
I think we should figure it out where like the first person to type in something on the chat or something like that gets a Turp House.
We got to start coming up with some stuff. G Fuel, too. We want to give it away, guys. We just got to come up with something. And me and Menace have too much stuff going on in our lives to come up with these giveaways. So
Name more than Stan.
help us out. Help us out in the comments. Come up with these giveaways. Yeah, Menace more than me. Menace was just in Greenland, Puerto Rico, Miami. He's a jet setter. Now he's about to be hanging from wires.
Yeah.
Doing shit.
Yep.
And then also, last but not least, we got to thank Movement, BJJ, and Island Kava. Our friend Ryan LaFleur. His spot's about to open up. But mainly New York Fight Exchange, June 1st. Our next couple episodes, we're going to have a lot of New York guys on. We had Jared on earlier. We got to make sure that we fill up that Resorts World June 1st. Just come up to Dennis, say, hey, I'm a fan of Menace and the Man, and he will kick you in the leg.
Is your mom going to be there?
Do you want my mom to come? My mom,
Yeah,
I don't know if she'll be home, actually. She might be in Louisiana.
Oh.
But what about Lynn? Lynn want to come?
She would definitely come.
Yeah, she would
But
come.
I'm not paying for her to fucking fly here.
Why? How would you have to fly? Isn't she in PA?
Yeah, she got to drive. Her car's not working like amazing.
All right, well, Stan the Man might figure that one out.
Ooh, Stan the Man might fund it.
Yeah, I might help her out with that one.
All right.
But New York Fight Exchange, use the code MANSHOW. You can get a little discount on your tickets. You can use, what's your code, Ant?
Ant Pitch.
Ant Pitch is helping promote it as well. We got all models and people coming in. We're going to make this New York Fight Exchange event one to remember. Menace and the Man be doing some commentary. And like I said, come up to us, like and subscribe the show, and just show us that you like and subscribe, and Dennis will kick you or punch you.
And it will be recorded.
If you want.
If you want. We'll do a little video disclaimer, and then you'll get punched or kicked by a UFC fighter. We're trying to create some content, you know?
Love it.
Some good shit with the fans, some good engagement.
Yep.
And again, Izzy, thank you for the trips to Florida. Frank for all he does. Home Interiors by Anthony Giaramita. Dennis the Menace Bermudez. Stan the Man, Menace and the Man, episode 29. Go for your send-off, Dennis.
Welp. See you later. Press stop streaming. Dude, what the fuck? There it is.